These Beverly Hillbillies actors actually hated each other. People thought Beverly Hillbillies was quirky and enjoyable when it originally aired in 1962. It quickly became a popular TV program, and it held that position for the majority of its duration. Behind the scenes, though, things were less lively and enjoyable. Though Nancy Kulp and Buddy Ebsen seemed to be a happy family on TV, they often battled behind. There was much squabbling among the hillbilly group. If you enjoyed the Beverly Hillbillies when it first aired, you may like learning about the behind-the-scenes turmoil and secrets. As a result, you now know more information on this popular program. Cruising. Granny's chair was usually fastened to the back of the family vehicle with Jethro behind the wheel. This scenario is well known, but you may be surprised to learn that the vehicle was owned by Cousin Pearl. Political actress. On the Beverly Hillbillies, Nancy Kulp played Miss Jane Hathaway. Though she was excellent in her profession, she was also a budding politician, linguist, and teacher. She left the program after 9 years and went into politics, vying as the Democratic contender for Pennsylvania's U.S. House of Representatives. Cheap estate. The Beverly Hillbillies were conceived by Paul Henning, who spent $500 to film it at a Bel Air house. Kirkby Mansion, the estate's name, was erected in 1933. This was the family's luxurious house, which was sold to Jerry Parancino after the program finished. Camera friends only. Buddy Ebsen portrayed Jed Clampett, although he and Nancy Kulp didn't get along well behind the scenes. He didn't agree with her political ideas and agreed to appear in a radio commercial for her opponent in order to undermine her chances of winning. Sharon Tate's wig. Sharon Tate appeared in a few films and television shows throughout the 1960s. She was nevertheless a victim of the Manson family killings in 1969. Nonetheless, she had a recurrent role as Janet Trigo and donned a brunette wig to disguise herself. Strike It Rich. The Beverly Hillbillies, like Jed Clampett's financial windfall, were a big success, with all of the performers becoming stars. They earned America's hearts by always being authentic. The gang initially made $25 million, but by the end they had earned more than $100 million. Alzheimer's kicks in. The show's banker left a lasting impression on viewers. Raymond Bailey portrayed Mr. Drysdale, although he began to exhibit Alzheimer's signs in the latter 2 seasons. His condition became clear in the final few episodes. Shady business dealings. Jethro Bodine was a fan favorite who portrayed Jed's adoptive nephew. In reality, Max Baer Jr. was astute enough to sue CBS and win. A restaurant chain was utilizing this actor's name, and CBS was aware of it but didn't inform the actor. 2 for 1. Max Baer Jr. had no problems about dressing up and portraying Jethrene, Jethro's twin sister. Linda Hending, on the other hand, did her voice. She was really Paul's daughter, who devised the program. These skits are memorable and entertaining. Hidden scandal. The program had some reported drama, with Sonny allegedly being Margaret Drysdale's son. Though there's nothing wrong with it, the program incorrectly identified him as a Drysdale. According to experts, his surname was Adonis, and the authors didn't use it until later in the season. Start the day right. Kellogg's was a major sponsor of the Beverly Hillbillies, and they never tried to hide it. After the theme music and credits, Jed Clampett gestures to something off-screen, and the camera pans to see the Kellogg's Cornflakes billboard. Typecasting. Maximilian Adalbert is Max Baer Jr.'s real name. That seems rather elegant, and he's well known as Jethro Bodine. However, once the program finished, he struggled to get further jobs. It's quite frequent in Hollywood. Granny Moses. It's difficult to envision anybody else portraying Granny but Irene Ryan. However, producers thought of Babe Benaderet. They thought she was too big and busty to portray the roadkill-eating Granny, but she didn't mind. Made for Hillbilly Life. Buddy Ebsen was well known for his role in Breakfast at Tiffany's. He portrayed a character similar to Jed Clampett in the film. As a result, a year later he was given the main part in Beverly Hillbillies. Almost retired. Buddy Ebsen was a wealthy businessman after the program was canceled in the 1970s. Although he planned to retire before the episode aired, he considered leaving the entertainment industry entirely, but ultimately opted to stay. The right name. The sitcom was supposed to be named The Hillbillies of Beverly Hills at first, but that sounded too long. The Beverly Hillbillies performed far better. The first name, however, appears in the pilot episode. This show lives on. Max Baer Jr., who portrayed Jethro Bodine, is the only original cast member who's still living. He still has a desire to realize he wants to develop themed casinos and restaurants based on the performance around Las Vegas. He currently holds sub-licensing rights to food and slot machines. The man with many talents. Buddy Ebsen was a multi-talented actor with dancing training. He could, however, sing. He sung country music tunes at the Beverly Hillbillies. Say goodbye. Even with a stellar track record and a large following, everything must come to an end. In 1971, the network decided to discontinue the program. At the time, CBS executive Fred Silverman believed it had lost its charm and was no longer distinctive in depicting rural life. Buddy Ebsen and Nancy Kulp. Ebsen and Kulp argued while filming the Beverly Hillbillies, but their spat became public after the show when the two got into a political fight. Kulp's comedy ended in 1971, and she subsequently had a short political career in the 1980s. In 1984, the former actress ran for Congress as a Democrat in her native state of Pennsylvania. She faced Republican incumbent Bud Schuster. But Kulp received an unpleasant surprise when her old Beverly Hillbillies co-star, Ebsen, became engaged in Schuster's campaign against her. The prominent TV personality agreed to make a radio commercial criticizing Kulp in which he referred to her as too liberal.